Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Chronicles of Hollywood History, past, present, and future. Welcome. And here now, Corey Gomez.
Hello everyone and welcome to Chronicles of Hollywood History, past, present, and future. A little while ago, I interviewed one of the stars of Glow, not the Netflix series, but one of the original gorgeous ladies of wrestling. Today I am joined by another gorgeous lady of wrestling. I am here with season 3 and 4's Miss Roxy Astor. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, but I thought we finished our interview now.
People like me. They like to talk to me before I hit record. I can't help it.
You know what? No, yeah, tell me to shut up, then we'll start, okay?
You did, when you started, because I've heard the story for Glow, did you know, I know some of the girls in the beginning didn't know they were going to a wrestling tryout. Did you know you were going to try out for Glow, or was it just like an open casting call you went to and got surprised?
No, in fact, I always wanted to be behind the scenes. I came from Seattle, Washington, because I wanted to be either a stylist or something, and people always make fun of me because I drove my 924 Porsche to Hollywood, and, you know, I wanted to be a stylist, but I end up watching WWE every Saturday morning, and then I found this amazing show called Glow. And I'm like, what is this? And I think I was more attracted to like all the clothes and like the shoulder pads and the glitter. And so I'm like, okay, I never acted, never wanted to act, never thought I could get in front of people, never thought that I could do that in a million years. And the joke is like even back at my high school in Auburn, Washington, I tried out for cheer 5 times and never won. I tried out for the president and got laughed off the stage. Okay. What makes you think that I could get out there and try out for Glow? Because I don't give up. That's why. And one thing I always and I've told my kids this too, it doesn't matter what people think of you. As long as you're good with who you are, it doesn't matter. So when I saw the number pop up on the TV, like, do you want to be a Glow girl? I knew exactly where I was going and what I was doing. And I knew I had to get it. I knew it had to be mine. Because I did not want to go back to Seattle. Because I'm also a hairdresser too. I did not want a normal life. I wanted such an abnormal, crazy life that I didn't want to be an actress. So I thought, this is right up my alley. And then I called the number, and from what I found out, there was probably about 3,500 girls that tried out. But I, you know, cocky as I was, I walked in and dressed in black leather and gloves and hair ratted out in boots and like slammed my hand on there. There's Matt Zimber and all the producers and everybody, and I'm like, yeah, I'm a bad girl. Yeah, and I'm like, okay. I go, I think I kind of blew the audition, even though, because I don't know how to audition. I've never gone to acting, or I've never done anything at all. So I walked out, and then I just thought, okay, I'm not going to hear from them. 3 days later, they said, if you get to Las Vegas, you have a chance. So I think it was another part of the audition. And then that's when I remember driving up. And honestly, I had one of the coolest cars there. Maybe Daisy had a cool car. She had like an old car. But I didn't see anybody like, what's wrong with this? None of us had cars back then. were we all so broke that none of us have a car? So I'm driving in this 924 Porsche, thinking I'm like all that. And I'm looking around. I remember seeing BC. I remember seeing a few of the other girls. I don't remember Sunny, but there was just, oh my God, there was like skinny girls, big girls, short, little, everything. And it's like, there's a lot of competition here. What am I going to do? I just knew I could not go back. I could not go home. And then it was just kind of, they got us in the ring, and they got us in the ring right away. And I think they were trying to whittle out the weak ones, whittle them out. So, and secretly, I was just always kind of saying, oh, yeah, that one's going home. Yes. And if I was hurt, I would not let them know. And when they tell you, like, take a 3/4 roll, go, jump this, do that, whatever, you do it. You don't ask questions, you just do it. So it was a matter of just a really hardcore training, and if you get hurt, you're out. If you say no, if you're doing it, you're out. If you don't get up and work, out, you're out. You're just out. They weren't putting up with anything. I think they had a schedule to do because they had season 1 and 2, and I think Matt was really on a time frame. Like, I got to get these girls trained on TV, and people have got to like them. They need costumes. They need this. So you look back now and like, how the heck did he do it? But Matt Zimmer did it, and people will go, well, how did they pick your character? And I'm like, there is no way I saw myself as Roxy, because I don't think I even knew what a credit card was.
Now, who was Mondo your trainer?
Mondo?
Yeah, was he your trainer? Was he still with them in the third season?
No, he was first and second maybe, but then Mondo and I became friends, and he came to my Afterglow fan party, and he actually came to a party at my house when I had like our second Glow Netflix parties, and Mondo was at my house, and he's a character. He is such a great guy, and he was good friends with Matilda and stuff too. So, and I think he visited her before they closed everything down, but he's a really good guy. I think I had Debbie Debutante and Ninichka that trained us.
I always had a crush on Ninichka.
She was one tough chick.
She's like Brigitte Nielsen with like muscle enhancements.
Well, the thing is with her, as big as she was, and I'm not saying that big, she was just so graceful that it was like her little toes and the way she did it, and like her face and just her whole, she just had it. And I remember that she was so tired of being in her little red outfit that she wanted to be a good girl, and then her mom, who did the costumes, made her like this pink fluffy outfit, and she ended up being a good girl for a moment. And to me, it didn't quite work. So because she was definitely Ninichka, with the red outfit on. That, to me, that was her. But I think she wanted just to go to the other side just to see how it was to be a good girl. Like when I wanted to go to the other side to see what it was to be a bad girl. So I did a match with Dementia where we were under the spell of Mama.
I remember that match. That was a fun match.
That was my favorite match. I wrote that match because I wanted to write myself in as a bad girl for once. But what sucks is Dementia didn't talk, so I couldn't say a frickin' word, and that was killing me because I love to talk. And my joke with her is that she played Roxy better than I did.
Oh, she was a great character. For someone that didn't speak, she was very good. She was very commanding on camera.
And she's from Georgia, and she's got these eyes that are just huge. And it's just, and in fact, she just wrote to me on Facebook, I think a few days ago and stuff too. So, and I didn't know it, but my mother-in-law, who passed away, she lived with her for a couple months when she had no place to go, and I did not know that about her. Yeah, so I didn't know that about her. So it's like things that kind of pop up though. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. When you started, did you have to live in like the apartment with all the other girls with like a curfew? And I've heard some horror stories about all that.
Okay, let's see. To me, I think since I didn't go to college and I didn't live in a sorority, I think this was probably the coolest thing to ever happen to somebody who just graduated from high school and couldn't afford to go to college. So I roomed with Justice, and that was my bud, Justice. And I forgot who else. Maybe Tiffany for a little bit, and then Zelda, and then somebody else. And when you look back, I remember it was so cold in these apartments, and I know this is such a no-no now. We used to keep our ovens open to warm us up. Now, that's dangerous, right?
Yeah, well, especially if you got a gas one.
Okay, yeah, you could have had about 50 dead glow girls, and that should have been but it was just so cold. And, but to me, it was so much fun because I was never in college or, joined a sorority. So that was my sorority moment. And I loved the girls, and I made sure I stayed out of the drama. Like, I am not going to get in any drama. I'll be your friend, and the ones that I saw drama coming, I would stay away from them. I wanted nothing to do with any drama. I was there, and I just wanted to be there and be the best I could do.
Why'd you guys have a curfew?
Oh, come on. And we're in Vegas. If we did not have a curfew, you know how many of us would have stayed out to about 7 o'clock in the morning and rolled into bed? And we would have been hurt in the ring, and then Matt wouldn't have had a show. Oh, no. You had to put some reins on us back then. You had to. Now, did everybody follow the curfew? No. And then you had your tattletales, and I don't remember who they were, but they did tattletale on some of them. And it was like you get docked $50 or something like that. But I think a funny story is that now, and I didn't know this until like 30 years later. I'm thinking, yeah, I was like one of the top girls in season 3 and 4, and I was making $350. And then Sonny goes, wait, I was making $700. I go, what?
Jeez.
And then Thunderbolt was going, I think I made about $500. I go, what?
The discrepancy in pay there.
Yeah, I was wondering why they always said to us, don't tell, whatever you're making.
Well, now you only taped, was it like 2 or 3 days out of the week?
We trained, I think it was almost like 6 or 7 days we trained, because you had to train so you didn't get hurt. Then we had our matches, our pre-matches on Friday, and then our matches on Saturday. Most of the time, I did 2 matches on Saturday. Some girls only did 1. But I took it very serious, like for working out and stuff. And I was told that Roxy had a great Astor. That's what I was told.
Yeah,
so
true.
I'll take. I can see that camera angle going right there all the time. But I took up running because I wasn't a smoker, and I noticed a lot of girls that smoked, and you can hear them like in the ring going, like out of breath, but I never smoked, and it made really a big difference. So I did a lot of running so I keep my stamina in the ring. I'm telling you, when I did this, I took this serious. And sure, yeah, I partied. When I partied like on Saturday night when we had Sunday off, and I would stay up till like 6 in the morning dancing and drinking and dancing. And the cool thing about it is I put in red foam in my blonde hair, and nobody knew who I was. So I could go out, and I would hang out with BC, and BC still had her mohawk, and everybody knew it was her.
You guys had magazines, you had shirts. Did you guys get like a cut of your royalties or anything like that, or was that just all straight to the company?
Oh, that was like all straight to the company. I think when we did the 1-800 numbers, we might have gotten, or if we did like a little commercial, maybe like $100 or something. Because I know I did Card Shark. Some of the girls did other shows. I did a few other talk shows with Ross Schaefer. We got paid like an extra $100, but we were all so happy just to get picked because there was a lot of girls that did not get picked for the shows. Like I think Hollywood and Godiva, they did Family Feud with the other people.
Family Feud
I don't remember
a couple times.
Yeah, find me on Card Sharks. You will die laughing. I'm with Nanichka, and she's talking about how I look like a boy because I had no boobs.
Did you get to be, I can't remember, it's been so long since I saw it. Were you on Sally, Jesse, Raphael? I remember some of the girls. I remember Godiva definitely was on it.
No, I wasn't. I remember Matt Simberg, Godiva, Vicky Victory was on there. She's the one with the red hair. So there was and Mount Fiji. I was off doing something else. So they would kind of spread the girls out to do other things. But Matt had his favorites of who he was going to set out there and who could actually talk to people and, have that charisma out there too. So Matt did pick his favorites.
Here's the question I ask everyone. This show was hot. I mean, syndicated, magazines, merchandise, you guys are making talk show appearances, everything, and then it ended. Like, it wasn't like you watched the company fall apart, like some of the other wrestling companies or anything. It just, all at once, it wasn't there anymore. Why do you think it stopped?
Well, I could ask you the same thing. Why did Go on Netflix stop?
COVID killed that one, they claim.
Everybody was looking forward to that, and then it just stopped. And what I remember is and I'm sure you're going to hear different versions of this, but Pia Zadora was married to the main guy, Rickless, who owned the Riviera, who basically funded the show. We were top of our ratings. We were everywhere. We were just like the rock stars of wrestling. Everything was going great. And the weird thing is, we actually went back for the holidays, just like how they did in Glow Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
But we were at season 4. They were season 3. And so we all went. And I left earlier to go have a baby, but I was coming back because we were going to be doing a movie, a Glow movie, almost kind of like the Spice Girls when they did their little movie. So the script was written, everything was there, and all this that we just never got the call back. Now keep in mind, there's no Facebook, there's no way to get a hold of people. There's only like that landline, like, hey, what's going on? And we're like, nothing. We didn't think that it was really going to shut down. We just thought again, it's regrouping or it's doing something else. We just never got the phone call. And that was something I brought up in the play. Is that a dog?
That is my dog. Ironically, her name is Roxy.
I love her. She's got a big mouth just like me.
Yeah, I have a lab, a corgi, and a hound. The hound is usually the one you can hear in the background, but the mailman must be here. That's usually when she freaks out.
Love it. Does she have red hair?
No. Well, she used to be like almost pure white. Now she's got a lot of gray in there, too. She's getting older.
Oh, she's definitely like me now. So the whole thing into, I think Pia Zadora basically said, because they were going through like this big thing, I think Rickless was kind of messing around with a few of the Glow girls, and Pia was like, well, it's either me or them.
Yep, this story matches with everyone's.
Right, but what are you going to pick, you know? And I think the fans, they were very upset because it was just so sudden. And back then, there wasn't like a lot of TV. We were on Channel 13, and there just was nothing like that. But I kind of look at it in a way, like, let's just say Glow would have gone on for another 8 years. I don't think it would have been like such a mystery and such a novelty like how it is now. I just think it ended when it was supposed to end. And that's why we're talking about it to this day.
Well, I know you can't answer this question, but your opinion, the farmer's daughter bought the company for, what, a penny, some change? Why didn't she try to get it going again?
Oh, why can't I answer it? Absolutely, I can answer it.
Oh, you can? Okay, because like, if I could have bought your company for like $1, you bet your ass I would have had investors and it would have been back on TV at least the next season.
Well, okay. She was one of the girls that Rickless was messing around with back in Glow.
Okay.
So if I was with him, and if I would have said, from what I heard, okay, and this is what I heard, that she kept bothering him about Glow, and I think he was just kind of so tired and didn't want anything to do with it and all that he's just like, you know what, give me $1, give me a penny, give me whatever, now leave me alone. And she did try to do things with it. And I say this because I was physically with her working on things. We did a show at the El Rey, and it did okay. We did, like, I was out there even passing out flyers up and down Laurel Canyon Boulevard through Santa Monica to everywhere to sell those tickets at the El Rey, and I think that was 2002. And she had a few other deals on Roscoe. There was investors. There was people that were interested. Honestly, I think she scared them away. I think the way she deals with people, and when it comes down to it, you know, she might seem like she's a very strong business person, but I think there's ways that they don't really like to deal with her, you know, and I think it scared them away because if not, that she had about 3 or 4 deals that it could have gone better that I think could have benefited all the Glow girls. So do we know the whole story of anything? No, we don't.
Is it true that she didn't get all the tapes? I've heard that.
That is true.
That's where the money is those master tapes.
Okay, well, here's another true thing. I was working with the WWE to get the Glow tapes on WWE. We were so close. Things were going so well. I know who has the other tapes. They're in amazing condition. They were taken care of. I think she might have three or four tapes. She doesn't have everything. When it came down to making the big deal, she gave, I think, WWE Vince the runaround that he basically walked away and said, you know what, forget it. You're not worth it. It's not worth dealing with you. So that I worked on that probably for about 2 years, and I think that could have also changed a lot of the Glow Girls' lives too.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, even if you could put, say, season 1, put it out on DVD. My God, you'd make a killing off of it. Everybody'd want to relive that.
Yeah, well, I don't think you know now, though, and it's funny, and this will kind of answer your question, too, of what tape she has. It was on Tubi.com, and all you saw were seasons 3 and 4. Okay, now if you look under Amazon.com, what you're seeing now are seasons 3 and 4. Okay, who has seasons 1 and 2? Why is it the same season? So now it's on Amazon, and now it is on Tubi. Mm-hmm. So, great for me, because I'm in them. I'm happy, but where's the other? I wish that they could come together and everybody could go, okay, bring all the Glow tapes together, let them have a piece of something. I think all the girls put it in their hard work, their bodies, their sweat, you got Matilda she's in a wheelchair. You had Fiji who got hurt. You had other girls that got hurt. Why not help them now? Why not help them?
When the Netflix series came about, of course they would have had to have gone to her because she had the rights, I guess. But I guess you don't have to go to her. Yeah. Well, they would have had to.
Yeah.
Why did they? And I don't know if they did to some and not all. Why weren't a lot of you ladies used as, even if you weren't going to be on-screen talent, consultants, writers, wardrobe? I mean, there's so many places that all of you girls could have been used for a show like that.
You know what? I kind of look at it as they wanted to kind of keep the Glow Girls completely out and kind of do their own thing. Like I would see, a lot of, some stories. I'm like, oh, that happened, and oh, that happened. And we did a lot of interviews. We all got hit up with, I would say, about 30 interviews after Glow Netflix came out, and they were like, did Matt do drugs? And we're like, no, Matt did not do drugs, and no, there was no robot. But when, people were talking about the Glow Netflix, they were also saying it was nonfiction, which means not true, right? I always get confused with that. It's not true. Yeah. But there was so much likeness to it that our fans were going, but wait, that did happen, and that did happen. So I think that, good for us, that brought us out to the forefront. And honestly, I met Allison Brie, and I got her on TMZ when we were backstage at WWE, and she's saying, I am so starstruck meeting these girls, and you girls are amazing. So whenever I saw Allison Brie doing an interview, she was always giving the original Glow Girls props. Always, always. Another one too, Brittany Young and Kia Stevens. She was also like that too. And I actually met the writers from Glow, and I think it was Liz and who was the other one? Liz Blahan and, I remember Liz. So there was the two of the girls. And Carly mentioned Liz Blahan. And they said to us that in their office, they had posters of the Glow Girls that they would look at, and they made all the girls watch our Glow tapes to capture, what they wanted us to look like. So, and that's something that nobody really put it out there, but that was just actually me talking to the writers. And I said, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So I almost kind of think they didn't put us in. I think it would have been a good idea to throw maybe, I don't know, Matilda, maybe in the abortion clinic, or
I mean, anything, even if, because they're bringing in, at the time, former WWE wrestlers as like the coaches for the girls and all. Why not bring in a couple girls? It didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, and it didn't make sense to a lot of fans. And then if anybody ever said anything, I guess they thought we were boo-hooing. And I basically said I really don't want a part of it. Because I'm working on something myself. I don't want a part of it. I'd rather just sit back and see what happens. And like I said, like Allison and Betty, and I think I met probably 8 or 9 of the girls backstage at WWE, and they were very, very nice girls. So, but the weird thing is, though, that I thought was very strange recently, when after they found out that Glow Netflix was not coming back, I did not know this because I would go to some of the Netflix, their interviews, and everybody was very happy that it was like a female cast, and it was female writers, it was female, but it was the women of color that had written to Netflix 2 months prior saying we need diversity in the writing room, which honestly I kind of always agreed with, and that was 2 months before they decided not to have the show go forward. And so if you look at like Kia Stevens, which is Spinning Fist, or Brittany Young, you'll see the letters to Netflix stating, this is what we wanted, Netflix to do for us. So it took kind of an interesting turn to how they felt,
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of even worth looking into. I found that very interesting because I know, talking to Kia myself, I remembered her talking about being the welfare queen, and it was a part, and she said they were going to expand it a little bit more, and then her son comes and visits her, I think from Harvard, but she wanted something a little bit better, and something just a little bit more, not so, I don't know, I can't say racist, because the 80s back then,
Well, yeah.
My God, you had Glow, you had All in the Family, you had a lot of stuff back there that you can't do now.
As a fan, it was easy to spot, okay, when you're watching the Netflix show, okay, here's Americana, here is Nanuchka, here's Hollywood, here's Vine, here's Dementia.
Yeah.
Who on earth was the welfare queen based on? Or was that just completely made up for the show?
I think it was kind of a toss between Big Bad Mama, but I think they just kind of made that up themselves because it was just the welfare queen. I feel like Kia wasn't so proud of it, even though she was playing a part, and because she's such a good wrestler and she's got such a big heart. I think she had a little bit of a problem with it. But I also think that she thought her character would go a little bit further. And I feel like in season 4, this is where these girls were going to be heard, the ones that wrote the letter. I think they would have been heard a lot more, and I think the storylines were geared more towards where they wanted it to go, and I think it would have been a really good season.
How do you think the show would have ended? Any idea?
How would I like it to end? I want to see the welfare queen running the whole network and running. That's how I want it to end. Like, you're going to call me the welfare queen, I'm going to show you what I got, what I can do. So that's how I would have liked to see it end.
Do you think they'll get their movie that they're petitioning for, their little closure?
Well, okay, I'm kind of watching what's going on, and the petition started very, very strong, like with the signing. The moment those letters came out on Netflix, and people really knew how they felt about it, I noticed that the signatures were slowing down. Maybe, hopefully, they get a movie and let these girls get their closure and get their what they want, was it Junkyard, and it was the girl who played, who was it, Brittany Young, who played like the Mount Fiji type, and, I think it would be great if they could get their closure and a better storyline for them at the end. I think I'd be very happy with that.
Because I never understood, I got when they said, hey, we can't do this because of COVID, you can't do a women's wrestling show 6 feet apart, and that all made sense to me, but the more I thought about it, you're going to wait 4 years for Stranger Things. You're waiting now 2-3 years for Cobra Kai. Fans would have waited another year for a show. I think there's a little more to it than, what do I know, but I think there's more to it.
Okay, my thing. This is just my opinion. Okay, okay. So you have the writers. Okay, so they're talking about wrestling. We still have WWE. They're wrestling, getting the COVID test. Do what you got to do, and then now they have the people behind that are watching, on a screen. So there's not a lot of wrestling in the Glow Netflix, and they could have even had less wrestling if they maybe they went on strike. Maybe they they did something else.
It was during the
But
summer when you weren't filming.
Yeah, I mean they could have done something to stay away from that. But I also, from what I heard too, is that the sets, they didn't want the sets to sit there that long. But like you say, Stranger Things, they'll wait forever for that. It doesn't matter. And I think Glow was their golden child, and it did so great for Netflix that the fans are very confused. They got nominated, I don't know how many times, and then just to take it away like that, and then just kind of leave it like that. I think if they did a movie, which I hope they do a movie, I hope they give these girls a chance to finish, the girls that wrote the letter. Give them a better storyline at the end. Let them go out on top. That's my opinion.
I've taken up quite a bit of your time already, so I want to ask, for all your fans out there, where can they find you online? Are you do you have a web page? Are you on Instagram?
I'm on Facebook and under Roxy Astor. I'm getting up to that 5,000 friend request. I've got about 100 hanging there.
Oh, I got my spot in, fans. Don't hate me.
But I saw you, and then I saw Sunny, then I knew who you were. That's why I accepted the friend request. I'm on Instagram under Roxy.Astor, and then Twitter, which I don't do a lot of, Roxy Glow 1, I think it is. I think it's that, but either way, look under Roxy Astor because there is only one. But look, I mean, if you look up and if you really want to, dig into what I've been working on, it's been the Afterglow. I have been working on starting off October 25th, 2014, did a Kickstarter for the very first Afterglow fan party where the fans interacted with Glow, and that's what got the whole Afterglow going. After 3 cruises and then the play we did, which I involved the Glow Girls, we got 8 Broadway World nominations, Matilda being one for Best Actress. I got for Best Actress. Dan got for choreography. So I have been out there hustling to keep us alive and keep the Afterglow going. Even if Glow Netflix is not there, the Afterglow is still there. We are still there, and we're not going anywhere.
And I got to ask before you go, you told me a nice story off the air. I'd like to see if you tell it on the air. Everybody out there knows Matilda the Hun. Debor was also Queen Kong. She's been in movies. She's been in, oh my God, she was in Brain Smasher, Death Radar, How I Got into College. She popped up in hundreds and hundreds of things. You told me
there's a bearded lady.
and you even told me she is in a nice story, if you don't mind sharing. She's in now in the annals of Harvard University.
Yeah, she has a life that, honestly, and I'm kind of, this is the way I feel about this. She's had this life, a life of being a dominatrix, and she's always kind of been proud of what she's done. And when she was married to her husband, Poopsie, and she wrote a book called Glamazon, My Life of Glitter, Guts, and Glory. She wrote that book, so everything is in there, from her swinging life to her phone sex operator, from doing this and that. But it's never anything that she has not been not proud of. So the fact that Harvard contacted her and wanted to put her videos and some of her memorabilia in the archives right next to Gloria Steinem, it just goes to show you our Matilda, our Queenie, is going to go down in history as the only Glow Girl in Harvard.
And I wish her well. I hope she gets better. I'm sure all of her fans out there, wish the same. I hope she has once the COVID's over, start getting actual human company and everything again. That would be fantastic.
Yep. She's getting a surprise on Tuesday, and you'll see something on Facebook. I'll give everybody an update on that.
Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on. I truly do appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm so shy, but it kind of gets to me once in a while.
Thank Thank you for your time, ladies and gentlemen. You have been listening to the Chronicles of Hollywood History. Thank you from Gomez Richmond Productions.